Okay, my friends, welcome to a very special edition of Trending. If you watch the show on a regular basis, you know that every Thursday, Pastor Joe and I kind of talk about whatever's going on in the news or the headlines of the day and kind of try to tackle it from a faith perspective. But it is Christmas time, and we try to do some extra fun things around Christmas. And many of us here in Wichita, it's very, very cold. It's negative degrees. It's snowing. It's crazy outside. Most of us are stuck at home today. So this is the perfect time for us to introduce today's special guest. Joe, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, it's the one, the only. It's Mr. Santa Claus in the house today.
Oh my, thank you guys so much for having me back this year. Oh, when I got the email stating that you wanted to have a meeting with me, I was just so excited.
Well, Santa, it's great to see you again. So if some of you might remember, we actually got to talk to Santa last Christmas. And so maybe I'll try to put a link to the video in the comments somewhere, because Santa did a great job answering all of our questions last year. We wanted to have him back because we got more questions and we just want some time. And Santa, it's almost your big day. Like, I can't believe that you're letting us talk to you. I'm sure you have a lot to do today.
Oh my, yes, indeed. That is so true. You know, it's just 2 more days till my flight. And oh my goodness, the elves are just going crazy around here.
Well,
yeah, this year, I even had to bring my phone in just in case.
Oh, good. Well, who has your phone number? Who's calling you?
Oh, it would be the elves. They're the only ones that have the number.
Okay. And I see you're in your workshop. I see a lot of tools and some toys. So I'm sure you're hard at work today.
Oh, yes. You know, I started out as just a sole woodworker, and now I've had to expand into all the different areas.
That's awesome. Love it. Okay, well, Joe, so this morning, I put a little plea out on our Facebook page to see if any kids or their parents might have a few questions. So I've got a few, but Joe, before we get to those, did you have any questions you want to ask Santa Claus?
I just got one, Santa. You know that we love dogs in our household. We got the dog stockings up, ready for you to put something in there. But it got me thinking about the reindeer, and we put a snack out for you, but like, what should we put out for the reindeer? Do they have a special diet? Are they like paleo? I mean, tell me, how can we feed those reindeer and help them out on the journey?
Really quick, Joe, I'm glad you asked, because that was one of the questions we got on Facebook. So Charlotte asked the same question. So let's answer Charlotte's question. Nice. What should we feed the reindeer?
Oh, very good. Oh my, it's so good that you've asked that question, because everybody leaves out carrots and that for the reindeer. And they do like carrots, but I tell you what, they don't have any front teeth. So for them to eat carrots, you have to break it up into really small pieces. Their diet mainly is something called lichen. And that's a moss that grows on the side of trees. And so that's their main form of meal. And then, of course, we supplement it with oats and barley and things like that. Something that they can just ingest and chew with the back teeth.
Okay. Gotcha. I wonder if that stuff is at Whole Foods. Maybe that sounds like a Whole Foods.
Can you get lichen at Dillon's?
You probably wouldn't be able to get lichen like that, but you can just use regular oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
Gotcha.
I like it. Okay, so Charlotte, good question. Put out some oatmeal for the reindeer. That's a great question. Okay, let's get to another one here. So let's start with, Juliet had a really good question. Have you ever had to delay a delivery either because of bad weather or any sick reindeer?
Oh, well, no, actually, I never have had to do that. It came close a couple of times, but with the bad weather and that. But, I've actually got over 700 reindeer. We always use the same names for them, but I just will rotate. However, there is only one Rudolph.
Of course, only one Rudolph. I love it. Okay, speaking of Rudolph, so Kaylin asked a question, and she watched a Christmas movie. I haven't seen this movie. I don't know if you guys have. Prep and Landing. Have either of you seen Prep and Landing?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad, because I'm not familiar with this story, but she asked if you still use Rudolph or if the events of that movie changed any of your prep for your reindeer. So do you still use Rudolph every year?
Oh my, yes, indeed, I do. Rudolph is one of the most important reindeer that I've got. With that bright nose, oh my, it just makes it so nice and easy for me to fly through the sky. And also, it makes it easier for the pilots to see me as I'm going along.
Oh, yeah, we don't really think about the pilots, but you have to be careful with dodging planes when you're up there too, don't you? I didn't even think about that.
Oh my, yes, I do. Especially those fighter jets. Oh my goodness. I had one incident back in, that had been back in 1958, 59, something like that. Oh my goodness. They came buzzing right up alongside of me and it scared the bejeebies out of me.
Well, thank goodness you made it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a few more. Joe, do you have any more questions?
Yeah. So Santa recently, speaking of Christmas movies, somebody told me that there was a deleted scene from the movie The Elf, Buddy the Elf with Will Ferrell, and the deleted scene had a big hockey game that broke out in the North Pole. So as you know, Santa, we're also a hockey family. You put a lot of good hockey stuff in our stockings under the tree. And so I just want to know, like, is hockey the national sport of the North Pole?
Well, it's a form of hockey. We don't quite get as rambunctious as the pros do, but oh my, yes, we do have a little bit of fun with hockey.
I love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Glad to hear it.
Okay, another question from one of the kids posted this morning. So this is from Henry, and he wants to know, what time on Christmas Eve do you start delivering packages?
Oh, that is a very good question. And I actually do start at midnight all the way around. And because I travel in the time zone, staying in the time zone, I'm able to do that all in one night. And especially since not everybody celebrates Christmas on the 25th. Some do it on December 6th. Some do it later, and some don't celebrate at all.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool. So you start right at midnight. So you got to be ready right at midnight. I love it.
That's right.
Okay, Santa, we did this last year too, and I've got a couple names. Now, I want to be a little careful here, but we've got a couple of friends of the show, people who watch Trending pretty much every week, and I'm just curious if they've made it on the naughty or the nice list. I don't know if that's breaking any confidentiality agreement you have, but last year you were able to tell us about some of our friends. So if I give you a few names, would you be up for telling us where they're landing so far this year?
Oh my, yes, I can definitely do that. It's
Okay.
not going to be breaking any rules or anything like that, because you see, everybody is on the nice list. It's just a matter of where they're at in the nice list.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, and see, since it's not quite Christmas Eve yet, maybe people can, if they're maybe not doing so hot, maybe they can notch up a little bit for the next couple of days.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so a friend of the show, someone who watches pretty often, tell us about Nathan Alpers.
Nathan Albert. Let me check my notes here.
Okay.
I check it twice. Oh my, yes, he's been doing very well this year. It's been a little rocky a couple years, but this year, very good.
That's good.
I like it. I agree with the rocky years there, but okay, way to go, Nathan. You made it clear so far. Okay, Joe, I'll give you one more, and then how about you toss one after this next one? Okay. So another friend of the show, I think she's one of the nicest people I know, but I want to hear your take. Maybe you know something I don't know. Tell us about Patty Truly.
Oh, Patty. Well, let me double check here. Oh my, yes, Patty has done exceedingly well. Oh, she's been up on the high end of that list almost her whole life, I tell you.
I agree. Patty's excellent. Okay, Joe, you got a name or two in mind?
I got one who's on our church staff, Santa. She's like the first person that people see when they come into the office. Melissa Myers, favorite around the office. She can be a little ornery. So I'm honestly just a little nervous about her, where she's at on the list this year. So could you like maybe calm her fears about where she's at this year?
Oh my. Yes, I can definitely do that. Now, you know that orneriness does not necessarily mean that they're not on the nice list. It just means that, sometimes people push the right button for that individual. But oh my, yeah, she's doing very well. Always keeping to climb up that nice list ladder.
All right. I got it.
Okay,
That's
I
great.
like it. Now, speaking of Henri, another person I need to ask about, Santa. This one I'm curious. Tell us about Nate Schrader.
Ooh.
Oh, now, Nate. Oh my. I'm gonna have to double check that one again.
It deserves double checking, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, Nate, you need to do a little more work here. I know that it's been a tough year for you, but I know you can do so much better.
I love it. Okay. And Santa, I actually have one question that this is from my personal experience. I want to hear, I know you have some kind of magical powers that we can't fully understand. So a couple weeks ago, I took my daughters and I went to come see you at Chick-fil-A. I'm sure you remember really well. You were at Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
We got some pictures taken. It was a great, great morning. And then a couple hours later, I saw you outside of a furniture store and you were just waving at all the cars going by. So you see on that, at least on that Saturday, you were making the rounds in Wichita pretty quickly. So if for people who are coming to see you at the mall or if they see you at a restaurant, how do you get around the world so quickly?
Oh, that is a very good question. And, I can't do it all on my own here. I have a whole lot of helpers out there that are helping me. Now, it's up to you to decide which one of us is really the true Santa Claus. There is only one Santa Claus, but you never know which one of those really might be him.
Okay.
So you have to decide, is that really him or is it just one of my helpers?
Good answer. Yeah, because I don't know how you could possibly get around as much as you do. You're a busy man.
Oh, much. There would, even with all of the elves' magic, it would be nearly impossible for me to do all of those at the same time.
Okay, Joe, do you have any more questions?
Well, I just have maybe a bigger one. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, Santa. You probably see this a lot, but it's a busy time of year. We get really busy, and we have like parties to go to and presents to buy. We eat a lot of food during Christmas season, it seems like, right?
Oh my,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. And I don't know, like I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes I could almost forget the whole like reason that we get together, celebrate this year after year. And it's good to be reminded. And, I've got thoughts and Matt's got thoughts, but it'd be best to hear from Santa himself. Like, what do we need to think about during this Christmas season this year?
Oh, that is a very, very good question. It brings to mind the story of the wise men. Mm-hmm. Now, the Bible tells us that there were a group of wise men that had been watching that star and had to find where that star came from. Now, we really don't know how many there truly were, but now some believe that there were 3, some believe that there were 16 or 18 that showed up. Now, in Isaiah, it talks about how many camels and elephants were up there at the time of the birth. So, or foretold of that. Mm-hmm. And in Matthew, it says, it's Matthew 2, 9 through 11. They departed, and behold, the star which they had seen in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy and fell down and worshiped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented gifts to him: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now we know gold is just a fine metal, and that it was and still is used as currency around the world. The wise men presented the gold to him to showing his kingship, and that he's the King of Kings. The second gift was frankincense. Now that is a resin from a tree. Frankincense symbolizes the deity and priesthood that Jesus will become, and that he will be the high priest, the priest above all priests. And then the third one is myrrh, and it's similar to frankincense in that it is also a tree resin, but it comes out as a liquid, kind of like teardrops, which reminds us of the tears that Christ shed for us on the cross.
Wow. Yeah.
Gold representing the King of Kings, frankincense represents Jesus as God and high priest. Myrrh represents the sacrifice Jesus would face, even to the point of death on the cross, so that we have life with him. This little baby that we celebrate this weekend would become our Savior if we but call on him and turn from our sinful nature.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Santa. It's good for us to hear that from you. And real quick, last year when we talked to you, you did a really great job explaining the candy cane, and there's a lot of meaning about Jesus's birth and the candy cane. So again, I'll post the link in the comments if people want to check out last year's video to see what you had to say about that. But yeah, it's really fun to think about the presents and Santa Claus, and it's snowing today. It's beautiful outside, but it's of course really important to remember why we celebrate. We're just so grateful for Jesus coming to earth as a baby for us.
Amen. That's what it's all about. I'm just a mere gift giver, but Jesus is the true gift giver, the gift of life everlasting when we turn our lives to him.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Santa Claus. And we did this last year. I'll do it again. If you just happen to be in Wichita, it's Christmas Eve, 1:30, 3, 4:30, or 6. We've got a bunch of services. If you just want to make a little guest appearance, you're more than welcome to come to Ridgepoint for our church services. But if not, you can watch it online when you get home. That'd be okay.
Oh my. Well, now, is the service recorded?
Yes. Yep. You can watch it.
Oh my. Well, maybe I will pop in and see it then after I get home from doing my rounds.
Get some hot chocolate and get some of that special moss for the reindeer and just enjoy a nice Christmas service. So, okay, we need to wrap up here shortly. Joe, any other questions for Santa before we go?
So I asked my son Ezra, what question should I ask Santa? He's like, well, he asked for your email address, and I think it's because he wants to make sure that you give me a bunch of coal in my stocking. That's the type of lad he is. So if you do share your email address, I'm sure Ezra would want it, and other kids out there. He might send you a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that too. So just beware.
Oh my. Well, I do have the internet up here, but I prefer to use the old snail mail.
Gotcha.
That really seems to work best for me. And, it helps to keep the post office going too. Yeah, right. And as far as coal in your stocking, you don't need to worry about that, because remember, the whole purpose of leaving coal was so that they could share it with their family and warm their homes. Yep. That was the whole purpose of it, so that you could become on the nice list.
Yeah. We might need some coal this year. It's very cold this week, so coal might come in handy here in Wichita.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys don't know cold.
Well, we didn't ask you
Today
that.
it's 54 below zero up here.
54 below. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. We have nothing to complain about with -4 or whatever it is. Okay, maybe we'll wrap up with this, Santa Claus. Last year, we also, speaking of people, we had the naughty and nice list. We needed to kind of touch base and keep tabs on Pastor Brent. He's kind of squirrely. We love Pastor Brent, but speaking of kind of he pulls some pranks. He's got a lot of jokes. You know, Pastor Brent. Tell us, how did Pastor Brent do this year?
Oh, that I do. And last year it was a little rocky. This year has been so much better for him. He's just really soared up there on that nice list. I'm so proud of him. Oh my.
Good. Well, Pastor Brent likes pranks. So maybe if you've got a few little last minute things, maybe you could give him kind of a prank Christmas gift. I think he would really like that.
Oh my, I've got just the idea. Oh, I bet the elves have an even better idea. Excuse me, I'm just hearing something from the elves right now. Are you sure? Oh my, they're saying that, they've got the perfect prank gift for him and they'll surprise him with it. I can't say anything right now.
Boy, okay. Can't wait to hear about that. That's going to be great. Well, Santa Claus, thank you again. I know it's your busy week, busy day. Thank you for taking time to talk with us. And thank you for sharing the true meaning of Christmas. We love hearing about the wise men and baby Jesus. So thank you for doing that and answering some really great questions. Do you want to say anything else to any of the kids who might be watching today?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I want to remind them that before I come, they need to be asleep, because if they're not asleep, I can't come in and leave the present. So make sure you're in bed, sound asleep before I get there. Now, even though I say that it's midnight, it could be a minute or two either way, because, I'm trying to do all of it in one night. So you need to be in bed and sound asleep before.
That's good. That's a good reminder. Did you hear that, Heidi and Sadie? Okay. Joe, any closing thoughts?
No, I just appreciate your time, Santa. Thank you so much for giving us 30 minutes of your busy day, busy season. It's good to check in with you. And hopefully next year we can do this again. It's great. I enjoy it a whole lot. So thank you.
I would love to do it again with you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and to share that it's not just Santa Claus, that the true meaning is Jesus Christ. That is why we celebrate. And that's why I give the gifts that I do.
I love it. Amen. Okay. Well, thanks again, Santa Claus. Thanks, Pastor Joe. To those of you watching, next week, we'll do our end of the year predictions that we did last year, talking about how we did this year and kind of throw some predictions about what might happen in 2023. So join us next week for the last edition of Trending for 2022. Thank you so much for watching. Please come on Christmas Eve if you're able to. You can check out our website for all the details. We'd love to have you either in person or online. We'll hope to see you then, and then back on Christmas Day on Sunday at 10:30. So we've got a lot of services coming up. We'd love to see you. So thanks for watching. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.